Please, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. We welcome you to Curious Times, special edition Ed Leaders. And this is on occasion of Teachers Day 2021 that we'll be bringing down this magazine. And this is our honor to be able to speak to, very versatile leaders like you and bring their stories and their career journey and their career challenges and their inspirations to our readers. Thank you so much for accepting the invite and being part of the magazine.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, sir, for me to start, I would, I was just reading about your inspirational journey, but it would be really nice if you could sort of, share what were the starting points, what inspired, how things shaped up in your life to take this career.
And I need to take my journey from my early childhood. I was average child, and I was not a child who was very good in the class. I was learning disabled. I was dyslexic actually, and as you have seen, studies have been for, so letters were dancing even for me at that time. Somehow in grade 8, when I was there, one of my teacher who helped me out with my life and helped me with most of the subjects, and that was the changing time for me. So the cocoon bursted and then the butterfly came out. It's like that. So a new birth took place, and I recognized that yes, even I can do wonders. So that's how it all started, and then there was no looking back. It happened so that I always wanted to. I was good with mathematics, so I started with mathematics with my initial journey. In my graduation, I did the graduation with mathematics as my honors subject, and then I have done my master's in that. But I always wanted to be a software engineer, so I pursued software engineering, and it was going very well. It was going very well. I completed my post graduation in 2001. I was waiting for my first job, which was in Ahmedabad. But unfortunately, in September, WTC fell down because of the terror attack, 9/11, if you remember. And we lost most of the new joinees have lost their job at that time. So the offer letters were withdrawn and we were nowhere. So dreams were shattered. So that was the time I was sitting at home and I thought, how should I proceed? But because teaching was my hobby, so I continued with that. I was working with school at that point of time. And then I realized that teaching was something which I always liked, and I felt in love with that. So that particular year changed my life. I was having at the back of my mind that I would be a software engineer, so I continued learning software engineering. I did master MCS also, master in computer science, and even CCNA and all those things. But at the back of my mind that I was in love with it, so I could not went back to software. I had a fight with my father that now I wish to continue as a teacher. The only question that came from their side is, would you like to be a teacher? What the teacher would be earning? And how will you earn your life? Well, whatever it is, but I wish to be a teacher. So I cannot go back now. I'm in love with it. And that's how it all started. So initial days, I was having software degrees, I was having master degrees and all those things, but I was not having my PhD. So I felt that there's a dire need of doing so, but I never wanted to do the BEd that is going on in colleges. So I started searching, is there any other option? I found that yes, there is. and there is something in special education that I can do, which is not under MHRT, but it is under RCI, that is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. And in India, it was in NIMH, Secunderabad. That's the only institute who was giving it. Eventually, I came across that RCI themselves had started with this particular program in 2000, and that is through hospitals. So I went over there, I enrolled myself, and I was delighted by the end of 2-year curriculum that now I'm having all the tools with which I can create wonders. So that's how I started again. I created my own centers wherein I used to have my students who are uh, challenged, who are having special abilities, and I started working with them. That's how it started creating a kind of passion in me, and it excelled. I started then with inclusive education, where I used these students, I used to combine these students with the normal students, and then started growth. So it started giving me a kind of kick, you can say, and that's how it all started. Finally, by the end of almost 11 years of service, I felt that now I need to give whatever I have experienced, whatever knowledge I have gained to others. So that's how I thought of moving ahead. I became vice principal for the first time in 2011, and I was the in charge principal then. So that's how I came into administration, I came into teacher training, and my journey started. So I moved out then from Gujarat, moved to Madhya Pradesh, then to Uttar Pradesh, then again to Madhya Pradesh, and like that. Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh had been my places where I had worked extensively. NCR, Delhi NCR, these are the places. Rajasthan is my first time. So here I had been working since last more than 2 years now. I'm happy that I could use my expertise and help teachers to grow. Teachers are happy, management is happy, everyone is happy. So I'm also happy.
Yeah, so now, you kind of explained, like, your initial challenges were your own, in terms of convincing your family that why teaching is your cup of tea, and how that's a good career choice. Other than that, as your career progressed, what were the challenges that you were facing? Any specific type of challenges, any kind of stereotypes that you were dealing with, and how were you actually taking that in your stride? That is something would be interesting for our readers.
Definitely. I became principal at a very early age of 30. When I was 30, I became principal. And I understood one thing, that you need skills, you need patience, you need perseverance to understand the need of this particular profile, which I was not having initially. But I was having very good mentors with me who helped me out in all these things. It happened so when I started my journey, I moved out from Gujarat. I went to Madhya Pradesh. It's a very small place called Chaitri, Anupur, somewhere near Bilaspur, and it was uh, all first generation learners. The first day I remember, and I remembered that almost 220 people reached to my office asking for admission. I said that yes, I'm here for the development of the place, but I cannot give admission like this. I need to see how the students are, who the student is, whom I'll be working with, and that's how it will take time. But give me time, we'll do it. Somehow I could give only 81 admissions for the first year, and I started working on this 81 students. All of them were first generation learners, we had the school climate, we had school culture in place, and that's how we trained this 81. Next year, I had given 399 admissions. So this 81 became the mentor for this 399 students. In a span of 3 years over there, all my students were speaking in English. That was the campus language which we need to build in a place where we had all zero level candidates, you can say. So we worked in a tribal place, and all my students were speaking in English. They were fluent enough to come onto the stage and speak on any topic. That took me almost 3 years to achieve, but it was achievable. Means if you think that it can be achieved, it can be achieved. So we did so, and it happened only because of my colleagues who were working with me. The vision that I was having, though it was difficult, we worked till 9:30, 10 o'clock every day to make this dream possible. And it's working really well now. There's a new principal over there. So I'm still in touch with the school because it's my baby. I started that school. So I'm still in touch with that school. And wherever they need any kind of help from my side, I'm always there for them.
Right. So now that you've seen, like, a lot of depth in your career, and obviously you're geographically, you've seen a whole of many cities,
Yes.
right, and many diverse people. Um, what is that next thing that you want to do? Like, if we all have some dreams, and if at all you want to share, like, what would be, you feel that, this will be a next good career change or impact that I can make.
Uh, I have already started working on this. I was when I became a teacher, when I started as a teacher, I always had a dream that there will not be second as studenthood in the classroom and finding out that there is no one to help. Yes, now they'll understand there is everyone to help, including me. They have teachers with them who are working with them. And other than this, we are creating certain individuals over here in our school who uh, whatever kind of task you provide them, they are in a position to take it and complete it. These are the things that we are going for. This will include uh, even event management, to market survey, to public speaking, making someone understand about a certain topic, or you can say group discussing, and even leading a particular event, handling a particular event, right? To arranging and making a thing happen. So entrepreneurship skills and all those things, we are already planning. We are planning for even horticulture into our school with medicinal plants, vermicomposting. We do have rain harvesting at this moment in our school. So all these things, even growing plants, are also in place in the school itself. So altogether, self-sustenance and the sustainability will be taken up as given by UNESCO. So all these things, including into NEP, the new NEP which is coming, I think we can really build up a new future, a new set of youth who can definitely encourage others to come. We have taken up this particular challenge. We have collaborated with World Climate School Norway. We are the first school of India to do so, and we have taken up certain trainings from them, how to uplift the climatic change that should take place, a positive change that should take place in the climate. So we are all geared up, and we understand that it's our responsibility to save the planet Earth. So we have started working on that.
Right.
So there are few more things in pipeline. So it's going on.
Yeah. So, congratulations. I mean, sustainability is we always think it's government's job, like, 9 years left for
Oh,
Paris Agreement. But it is very heartening to see people like you actually, working on that and also involving and putting the same sort of emphasis with your students on that mission. And yeah, that's very impressive. Uh,
we have the greenest campus over here in Udaipur. We have more than 52 trees in the campus.
okay.
So it's it's one of the greenest campus in Udaipur. So once if you find time, please visit. We'll be
Yes,
happy to have you over here.
yes, yes, definitely. While you were saying it, do visit, I was thinking in my mind that I'm going to visit to that. Okay. So now, we know what inspires you, and we know you are an inspiration because I think the way I've gone through your story, it's like about, you are yourself motivating, you're putting your own targets, you're just deciding how you want to pull things up, and they happen. What's your sort of inspiring words for the teachers or the upcoming leaders who are actually in the education space and they want to do something meaningful in the education space, and what are your kind of top 3 points you want to tell them?
Fine. First thing which is important is student profile. You need to understand the child first. That child is a subject. We learn a child. As a teacher, we learn a child and we understand what the child is actually in need of, how we can work with the child to help him to progress. We work with the parents to understand their aspirations, and that's how we chalk out an individualized education plan for a particular child. We have only 30 students in a class. That's how it is. And we have 2 is to 30, that is 1 is to 15 ratio per class. So here we actually focus on individual students growth, and for that preparation is required. And these are whatever I have told you. These are preparations, student profiling, how the student worked earlier, what aspirations do the parents have, how the students want, what is the interest, and based on that, we try to figure out the kind of subject enrichment activities, and we try to play with them to understand them better even. So these are the certain things that we generally do. I think if we understand the child well, we can definitely uh, be a sculpture for their future.
Right.
100%. That is possible. I have seen it working. We have our own style of doing it. So I you need to actually see how we are doing it. Very difficult, but it's very easy to make out. It takes around 7 to 8 days to make out a child, and that's how we understand and we formulate a kind of formula for that particular child to come.
Right. But do you think, like, let's say once you have assessed, then that's all, or it has to be because the child also evolves, they're very young, they
Yes,
keep shifting, their skills are too raw, and then it just sort of, they suddenly pick up another interest, and you never know, they do well in that.
as I have always told you that a teacher should be a lifelong learner. So we need to keep on learning our subject, right? We are not teaching the textbook. We are learning that particular child. We know our subject. Students also understand that. But how and what to achieve is our task, right? Because parents are not experts. parents also seek help, right? There are few parents who are teachers who understands that, who understands education. They help us, but there are many who cannot, who can just tell us that, yes, I'm there for you. Whatever help you need, we'll do it. But I think you are the best person because child understands the teacher better than the parents. So they listen to the teacher. So that's how our role is important than that of anyone. And other than this, though the child is growing, there are temper tantrums, there are infatuations, there are so many things going on into their life. But we should be someone who is always beside them. They understand, they feel that, and when we are not strict, we are if we are firm with whatever we are telling, if we keep on counseling them, so I think they will definitely achieve what they wanted to be in their life, what they like, and where they will be happy with their life. Because money is not everything, but money is everything in other ways. So they need to understand their liking, and they need to uh, recognize where they wanted to be. And we are the people who can guide them, actually, definitely.
Right. So another question, sir, because this is Teachers' Day, you will be receiving a lot of appreciation from your students. What is message that you want to send to the 21st century students on Curious Times in around you? What are those points that you want to share with them on Teachers' Day 2021?
I'd like to say that they should be self-sufficient, having proper knowledge. They should be in a position to identify what is right and what is wrong. And they need to understand that they need to respect every individual on earth. So once they start respecting every individual on earth, they learn a lot from others. They learn a lot from the mistakes that others are doing. They should be I have already told you that they should recognize what is right and what is wrong. So that's how they can get the maximum out of the individuals on earth. Nature is the best teacher possible. And once we see, we learn the better way. So learn well, do well in life, make your parents proud, make your teachers proud, and make your nation proud of whatever you are doing with your life.
I think those are our questions to you. We just so thankful that you took out time and shared your side of the inspirational journey, your ups and downs, and how you've conquered them, how you've uh, and very impressively how you're working on sustainability and through the campuses that you've handled, how you've moved things very differently from the other traditional or conventional formats. I want to congratulate you. And from Team Curious Times, we wish your team, to you, to your colleagues, a very, very happy Teachers' Day. And
Thank you, ma'am.
we wish you all good health and happiness and a lot of growth and success in your careers. um,